Welcome to a new update in which today we're going to look at the Bitcoin price action. It's going to be a short update as we are currently moving offices and still setting up everything, so then we can get back on the grind. And I think we are ready for the new bull cycle, as you are. If you are still a survivor of this cycle, you are a winner. So make sure to hit that like button if you are here still watching the videos. Also make sure to subscribe, as we are back with the altcoin portfolio during this week, which means that I'll be providing an update on that too. And soon we are going to start an educational series. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to join our public Discord. You can use the trial week for 1 week, as the previous month my portfolio has been doing a 20.6% profit. This is the Discord. And in the Discord, we have got a channel, which is the monthly ROI. So what do we have here? We've got two different chapters, which is total R. As you can see, the overall results over the past year have been here. January has been great, 34R. Then we had a period of consolidation, I would say. And then 21R in May, totaling 60 for the year. And then we've started the portfolio on May 1st. Actually June 1st, we've started with 5k. My portfolio resulted into rallying towards 6k, which is 20.6%. So you can follow that all if you become a premium member, but you can test it. Also, we've got the final few days of the Crypto 101 course with the early bird 10% discount that you can get by using this code. It gives you instant access to 8 hours of content on the course, on everything that you need to know where you want to get yourself kickstarted in the markets. So make sure to check it out. Now, when we're looking at the markets, I think overall we can conclude that we are into an upwards momentum, right? So we're going to investigate what type of scenarios we could look at if you are looking on the higher time frames and the lower time frames. In that regard, the first point that we have here is that we just are analyzing the fact that we are having a sweep beneath the low, which is called deviation or just liquidity grab, whatever you want to phrase it. And then we started an uptrend. So here we've got the previous high. Then we started to make lower highs all the way down. We've got one here too. And we've got a few more here, through which this trend has reversed in a way that we have been making higher highs, higher lows. And we have been making another high here, 30k, and another higher low here, which was defined from the previous range high. We could hold there. We even swapped it by a little bit, which also gives you a few more important thesis points, which is that we have been testing the 200-week MA and the 200-week EMA, which both resulted into support sustaining, which was critical. We've done it, as prior to this entire move, we have been acting beneath it. So the Bitcoin price action has been dropping beneath the 200-week MA and EMA in June 2022, and we have been breaking through it in March 2023, marking 9 months of sideways action, which is currently finally breaking to the upside. Which also means that currently we were looking for a confirmation that the trend is going to reverse, and the trend is reversing, which means that in order to continue this uptrend, which usually is a bull cycle uptrend like we see here, is that you want to get a new clear higher high. There are a few gateways how you can define those, which is you can start defining it by the Fibonacci extension tool based on the previous corrective move. Then you can start structuring 35k and 41k, but you can also look at the entire wave through which again 41k pops up. So in that case, we can start looking at a rally towards 41k, and I'll start investigating why that is actually the case. I'll erase the MA and the SA and the EMA here. What are we looking at? We are currently looking at a period of being 10 months prior of the Bitcoin halving. So we are 10 months prior of the Bitcoin halving, which used to be the best period to buy your altcoins. Additionally to that, we also have a period that we are not breaking the highs yet. We are consolidating. We are making ourselves into a range here, which means that if we break the previous high, that is not really going to accelerate much, but once it starts to accelerate, we've got this entire gap here to take. Now, when we start to zoom in a little bit more, we can start seeing that we have got this structure of the previous yearly high. And I'll erase this one too. This previous yearly high we've established in April. We've taken it out, so we've got this previous high and we are building up towards upwards momentum before we start breaking to the upside, right? Now what we also have is that we've got the trend of 2022. The trend of 2022 established lower highs, and that are resistance points through which if you are shorting, you're placing your stop above these highs, right? And there's another one here which is at 31.7, which we have not been taking out yet. So optimally, what you want to see is that we start taking this out and then we start accelerating to further upwards momentum. So what we've seen here is the exact same. In that regard, we've had a period of sideways consolidation. We were attacking this range high here, couldn't break through it, came all the way back down, started consolidating, and then we start to break to the upside all the way towards the next resistance point and consolidate before we continue. So what is going to happen? Scenario 1, we take out both of these highs and fall back beneath, have some consolidation before we start to rally. The second one is that we just consolidate and then we start to accelerate quite fast in the coming few months, having that standard rally in the Bitcoin price action. And then we get towards a period where we've got all these highs, through which it is very likely that we're going to take out the high here too. So 2 points are interesting. First of all, the resistance point here at 37, the second at 41. So this is your area where you definitely want to start taking profits. And now the question is, where can you structure the entry points on Bitcoin? If you look at it from the daily perspective, I think we're just grinding up and we are not taking much of liquidity yet. We are not really accelerating, which means that the acceleration is going to occur if we break 31.7 and 32.5. That is when the real gap is going to be closed and when you start seeing acceleration. There are a few scenarios in terms of trading. First of all, the long side. If you're looking at this perspective, based on the daily time frame, you're looking at a sweep of 29.4. I've mentioned it before. You're looking at a case towards this area to get yourself into a long position. You want this one to be swept. That's where most of the liquidity lies, because we have been taking the previous low with it and then we started bouncing up with a significant volume candle, which means that that is where you want to start taking these long positions, right? If you start looking at the lower time frames, I think ultimately there is a chance that we take out the highs here, the first one, and start falling ourselves down, as we've got this nice elevating price action taking place here, which usually ends up by having a cascade downward. So in that case, I would like to discuss the short and the long entries. If we are having this towards 31.7 or maybe even 32, we fall back beneath, a short entry can be taken at 31.5, right? So then we're just finding ourselves into resistance here, and then we've got the elevated pitch in which we make a high, consolidate, make another high, make a lower low, and then we can start consolidating, take out, and probably are going to take out all these lows, through which this is your first point and your second point lies here. Those are the areas of probably 30.2 is the long zone that you have here. On the other hand, if we have a faster move to the upside, you can start looking at the potential flip of the high, right? So in that case, you're looking at continuation, consolidation. We take out the high. We are not making any lows at all. We're just continuing the grind. And then the slower time frame flip here at 32.5 or 31.7, including a short tight stop, is definitely what you're looking at towards 38 to 41k. Ultimately, we are into the rally where the markets are going to continue pacing up. So these are the scenarios that I will be looking at if I want to trade Bitcoin at this point. If we are looking at the total market cap, we can start looking at the same construction. So we've got the higher lows here, we've got higher highs. We need to take out this high, and then we can start continuing the momentum, including taking out this high, through which the next area is 1.6, perhaps even 1.87 trillion. I hope, as a conclusion, that you understand where you can start looking for long entries. Don't start FOMOing into the markets in the sense that usually you will be taking out. So if we are having a rally towards the highs, don't blindly start longing there. Instead, start waiting what the price action is going to do. If we have a significant wick to the upside and just a shallow correction, the flip is a good one to take. But if we have a slight breakout and start consolidating here, falling back beneath is the most likely outcome, and then you're looking for lower areas where liquidity lies to get yourself into bids, because as a conclusion, your stop loss is usually your entry. Have a good day. I'll be back on Thursday. Ciao, ciao.